What if everything you thought you knew about bottled water was a carefully crafted illusion? For decades, water companies have spent billions convincing us that every bottle of water is a vessel of untouched purity, sourced from hidden springs and ancient glaciers. They fill our screens with images of crystal-clear streams, snow-capped mountains, and lush green valleys. But behind that shimmering facade lies a reality the industry desperately hopes you never question. A reality where the water you buy is often the same water that pours from your kitchen tap, just filtered, bottled, and sold back to you at a staggering markup. Hi, my name is Esther, once a physician, but now retired and using my time to uncover and bring to life by video all you need to know to stay healthy, environmentally conscious, and do what you can to make our planet a safer place. I research the topics and use the resources available to bring the videos to life. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so other people will get the same information. Let's pull back the curtain on the bottled water industry's greatest trick, the myth of purity. Nearly half, and in some estimates up to 2/3, of all bottled water sold in the United States starts its journey in municipal water systems. That means brands like giants with multi-million-dollar marketing budgets are frequently sourcing their water from the same supply that fills your bathtub and flushes your toilet. Sure, they run it through additional filtration, but the core truth remains: what you're paying for isn't a magical elixir from a distant mountain, but filtered city water. You're not just buying hydration, you're buying a story. And what a costly story it is. When you choose bottled water over tap, you might be paying up to 1,000 times more for each sip. That's not hyperbole, it's the simple math of pennies per gallon for tap versus dollars per liter for bottled. The price gap is so wide that ounce for ounce, bottled water can be more expensive than gasoline. The industry's business model is a masterclass in profit. Take a public resource, process it, wrap it in plastic, and market it as a luxury. All the while, the reality of its origins is buried beneath a flood of icy blue branding and carefully chosen words like pure and pristine. But maybe you're thinking, at least bottled water is safer, right? It's sealed, regulated, protected from the unknowns of old pipes and municipal mishaps. This belief is another pillar of the industry's success, a belief propped up by the idea that bottled means better. In truth, the regulatory system for bottled water is a patchwork, and it's often less robust than the standards applied to your local tap. Here's why. In the United States, tap water is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, which treats water as a public trust and enforces strict, frequent testing. Large municipal systems check for contaminants hundreds of times a month, and they're required to publicly report the results. You can look up a detailed water quality report for your city today. Bottled water, on the other hand, is regulated by the Food and Drug Administration as a packaged food product. Bottlers are only required to test their source once a week, and they have no legal obligation to share test results, purification methods, or even the true source of their water with consumers. The transparency you enjoy with tap water vanishes when you step into the bottled aisle. This regulatory gap has real consequences. It means that, in many cases, you know less about what's inside that bottle of water than you do about what comes out of your faucet. And the lack of required disclosure leaves you at the mercy of corporate marketing, not hard data. The assumption that bottled water is automatically cleaner or safer simply doesn't stand up to scrutiny. And then there's something even the industry can't market away: plastic. In 2024, a groundbreaking study revealed that a single liter of bottled water contains, on average, 240,000 microscopic plastic particles. Astonishingly, about 90% of these are so small, so-called nanoplastics, they can sneak past your body's defenses and enter your bloodstream. These plastics originate both from the bottle itself and from the very processes used to purify and package the water. Their long-term health effects are still being unraveled, but scientists are increasingly concerned about their impact on human organs, including the brain and the developing fetus. While tap water isn't immune to plastic pollution, the concentration found in bottled water is far higher, a hidden ingredient in every sip. The environmental toll is just as severe. The U.S. uses over 17 million barrels of oil each year to produce plastic bottles for water, enough to fuel more than 1 million cars for an entire year. The manufacturing process releases about 2.5 million tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere annually, accelerating climate change with every bottle. But the damage doesn't end after you take your last gulp. Plastic bottles can take up to 1,000 years to decompose, slowly breaking down into the same micro and nanoplastics that now permeate our oceans, rivers, and even the food we eat. Recycling rates are abysmally low. Only about 9% of plastic waste is ever recycled globally. The rest piles up in landfills, litters, beaches, and chokes wildlife. Each year, more than 1 million marine animals die from plastic pollution, with bottles playing a starring role in this crisis. Communities and governments are starting to fight back. In 2023, the town of Yarmouth, Massachusetts, banned single-use plastic water bottles in an effort to curb plastic waste. Similar initiatives are emerging worldwide, challenging the notion that single-use plastic is a necessary part of daily life. These bans are as much about shifting mindsets as they are about reducing waste. They encourage us all to rethink convenience and question the stories we're sold. So, what can you do? The solution is simpler, cheaper, and more powerful than you might think. Start by investing in a reusable water bottle, stainless steel or glass, not plastic. Most importantly, read your local water quality report. Empower yourself with facts, not fear. And if you have concerns about your tap water, affordable home filtration systems can address specific contaminants for a fraction of the cost of bottled water. Every time you reach for a reusable bottle, you're making a choice to protect your health, to save money, and to reduce your impact on the planet. You're rejecting the illusion and embracing reality. The bottled water industry sells convenience and myth, but the truth is that the purest, safest, and most sustainable water is often already at your fingertips. For years, companies have profited by keeping you in the dark. Now, armed with knowledge, you can reclaim your water, your wallet, and your world. Don't let the illusion fool you any longer. The real revolution starts at your tap. Thank you for watching. And please make sure you watch the other videos on this channel. A well-informed you is a healthier and possibly wealthier and more environmentally conscious you.